The new Superman movie is now on digital, and it has changed the internet. Now let me give you a heads up, this isn't a movie review. I'm way too late for that party. I mean, everybody already agrees that the movie was great. Well, everybody except the Snyder cult and a few punchable faces. This video is about the psychological effect of this movie that is changing the world. How it changed my perspective of life, and habits you should learn from this movie and implement them to be a much better version of yourself. After the release of this movie, my social media feed was flooded with posts and memes about it, which seemed normal. It happens after almost every movie. For those who don't know this yet, it's called marketing. But then I realized there was something different about it this time. There was a totally different vibe all around the internet. People were suddenly being nice, or at least trying to be. The racism app was now about hope and positivity. Even the Peppa Pig episodes had more hate than the internet. It was frustratingly peaceful. It lasted over a week. Then someone in the White House plugged the Wi-Fi back on, and Trump started tweeting again. This whole Gandhi-fying of the internet was because of something called moral elevation, or the heroeffect.
Here's the explanation. Moral elevation is the warm, inspired feeling you get after witnessing someone do something morally beautiful like sacrifice, courage, unexpected kindness. It nudges our behavior. People report wanting to help and emulate what they just saw. Psychologist Jonathanhaidt named and framed this emotion. But I'm the one who told you about it. And now, you owe me one.
Now let's get to the part where I talk about how this movie changed my perspective of life. Back when I was like 9, my dad told me, a strong man's strength increases as he lends it to the weak. At the time, it sounded really stupid, because according to my logic, when a monkey has 4 bananas and he gives some of his bananas to some other monkey, he now has less bananas. This was the best business lesson I could teach myself back then. But then, I watched the new Superman movie. I saw a man lending his banana to all forms of life. I think that came out a little wrong. But yeah, I saw an all-powerful being helping people just because he believes that's the right thing to do, made me understand what my dad said. Now, my interpretation of that statement was something like, when monkey lends some of his bananas to some other monkey, that monkey later repays monkey with more bananas. That's how karma works, that's how kindness works, and that's also how loan and interest works. Speaking of loans, remember the time I said you owe me? It's time you repay me by hitting subscribe and liking this video. The new Superman made me understand what it means to be strong. Him making sure no one gets hurt, him saving the squirrel, him trying to solve the kaiju situation without actually killing it, him saving the world even after finding out that's not what his Kryptonian parents wanted. Those were the moments that made me realize the importance of being strong and why specifically men can't afford to be weak. Now, before the liberals come canceling me in their fancy Teslas, electric space shuttles, or whatever they drive these days, let me make this clear. I am not a sexist, and I do not support misogyny. What I meant by my statement, and what my dad was actually implying, was that it's a man's job to be strong, to provide, and protect. There is a reason why in every emergency situation, women and children are evacuated first. Men in this society are expected to be strong, and this has been happening since the beginning of time. Why else would men hunt a whole mammoth? They could have survived on a few chickens with a pinch of salt if their strength was only about helping themselves. And being strong isn't just about big muscles and a tight mustache. It's about being a symbol of hope for your family and the people you care about. It's about being that hand of kindness that the weak and needy are waiting for. And it's about being the courage of people counting on you. That is why a man can't afford to be weak. That is why I started improving myself. And that is why every man should start working on themselves from the very moment. Set your goals, make your strategies, and start the hustle right away. Stop waiting, stop strolling, and stop procrastinating. Because you don't need any superpower for this. And yes, there's more. The most important lesson I learned from this movie was, it's okay to express your feelings, no matter how big, old, strong, sigma, alpha chad you think you are. Expressing your feelings to someone who cares doesn't make you weak. Forcing it to stay inside you and letting the pain stack up, that is something that actually makes you weak. Falling down, breaking, and getting lost, all of this is a part of being human. You can't let go unless someday you randomly decide to trade your soul and turn into a super awesome transformer robot. This is it for this video. I've delivered my message. Now let me know in the comments if you understood what I said. See you in the next one.